Michelle Obama, she has just extended the tour of her smash hit book, Becoming, with 21 dates across the United States, Canada, and Europe. Did you, when you were, I mean, did you expect, eventually you have to write a book, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that's sort of along with the assignment, and then you write a book.
yeah. But when did you start like putting stories where you're like, I have to really like start remembering?
You know, it was sort of ongoing because I have taken so many swerves in my life that I found that I've had to explain myself to people. Like when you leave your law firm and making a lot of money, and you go and make no money, people want to know, well, tell me about you. Why'd you do that? And then I have to figure that out. So the early chapters of the book are stories that I've already kind of embraced in understanding my journey.
I mean, I think we all think that we have a great story.
And we all do. That's the point. I think one of the reasons why this book is resonating with so many people is because they see themselves in my little journey. Yeah. And the 8 years in the White House is really just the last segment of it. It's really all those stories of growing up in the neighborhood and playing double dutch and having your first fight and that teacher that, punched you in the gut and told you something that hurt your feelings. I mean, all those, that culmination of that journey is all of our path to becoming, and it's really what connects us. You know, it's not stats. It's not like, where'd you go to school? What do you do for a living?
Of course.
It's really that journey.
I mean, it really is a great story. I mean, you came from basically nothing, and you became the first lady of the United States.
Go figure.
Oh my God. It's like a made-up story that you would see in a movie. Is there anything that you left out of the book because you're like, nah, that's a little bit too personal? Or?
I mean, I could have done a whole book on just the White House years because there's so much stuff that happened, just unpacking all of that. And of course, the book would be 800 pages, and then it would take Barack like 800 days if he read it.
But I mean, you talk about having marriage counseling.
Absolutely,
which is, no one knew about that. But
marriage is hard, even for us. We have a great relationship, but the thing about marriage counseling is like I was one of those wives who thought, I'm taking you to marriage counseling so you can be fixed, Barack Obama, because I was like, I'm perfect. I was like, Dr. X, please fix him. And then our counselor looked over at me. I was like, what are you looking at? I'm perfect. But marriage counseling was a turning point for me, understanding that it wasn't up to my husband to make me happy, that I had to learn how to fill myself up and I'd have to put myself higher on my priority list. So I share that because there are a lot of young people who look at me and Barack and you and your wife and people they see and they think, oh, I want those hashtag relationship goals. But I want young people to know that marriages work. Even the best marriages require work. I call them a vexation. It's a choice that you make again and again and again, because I don't want young people to quit the minute they have a hardship. Because I always say, look, if you're married for 50 years and 10 of them are horrible, you're doing really good.
Not bad. not bad.
You're doing really good. Anybody would take those odds.
This is you. This is after the Trump inauguration. You're just waving from Air Force One.
Yeah, it's like.
Can you just walk me through?
Bye, Felicia.
Is that what was going through your mind?
Yeah, a lot was going on that day. That was a day. And right before that, my daughter's friends decided they needed a sleepover for the last day. I was like, are you guys kidding me? We're leaving. You got to take all your stuff, pick it up, the blankets, the bears, they're all crying. And it was like, get out, we got to go. So there was that, and then the Tiffany's box. It was just all, a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
There's a big point of the book is the importance of being optimistic.
Yes.
Optimism is a very, right? Are you optimistic about our country?
I am, because Jimmy, everywhere I go, I get to see young people. And we owe young people that optimism, that hope, because what's the alternative? And they come into this world, as you see with your little girls, with so much promise and so much openness. We're the ones that shut them down. And for the next generation that's coming up, the next leaders, they need to know that their story can be my story. And that is the truth of my journey. If you live like I did, a little working class kid who has made it her way up through to becoming the First Lady of the United States, being a best-selling author, traveling the world, there is reason for hope. And I want everybody here to understand that. You know, there are dark days in so many of our journeys, but, you know, we have to, you know, push that arc towards hope. And that's what I try to do every day.
Well, you do. And it's a great book and a great story. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Come back whenever.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Michelle Obama. The book is becoming. It is a must read.